poetry in English, amendments in government, and chemistry as a whole. I can't begin to name a favorite teacher, as I've enjoyed so many great educators. However, one in particular has really left a mark on her students, myself included. Mrs. Chapsinger taught nearly all of us at one point or another, and though future students will never get to experience Mrs. Chapsinger's outstanding classes and lessons, we know that her legacy lies with her final class, the class of 2011, and we are honored. And now it is time to leave the nest and head out into an unfathomably large world. Some will stay close to home, while others, including myself, have dreams of traveling the world over. But whether we settle in South Dakota or Sri Lanka, Minnesota or Mumbai, we must all remember where we began. I wish the best for everyone, and class of 2011, remember that now is the time to start the rest of your life. Make sure that you never settle for anything, and don't be afraid of taking a risk to achieve your dreams. You will never get anywhere if you don't take chances. It's time for us to change the world, and though it's more overwhelming than ever, be brave, and make the world a better place for future generations of students. Congratulations to the class of 2011.
It's always best just to ask, is everybody hearing okay? Raise your hand if you can hear okay in the back. Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Casey. And now to our valedictorian speeches. Our first valedictorian speaker was chosen to speak first, not because her accomplishments are any less or any greater than her co-valedictorian, but rather because during rehearsal we decided, hey, ladies first, right? Chivalry, just one of the fine qualities still alive at Douglas. This young lady that you'll hear from next amassed a 4.24 GPA during her time here. It was noticed by numerous universities who jockeyed for positions to convince her to join them. I am certain much more than being sought after by them, she is much more loved and appreciated by her parents, Gayla and Dwayne Slaughter. Dwayne, incidentally, has just recently been deployed to Iraq, and if all has gone well, is currently watching, so let's hear it for Dwayne and all of our deployed people. Samuel is walking the corner, you want to wave? Thank you, Dwayne, for your service. If Shiloh were able to accept all of the offers that came to her from 11 different universities, the value of those offers would be estimated at $445,000. Her status as valedictorian is richly deserved, so without further ado, would you welcome, ladies first, co-valedictorian, Miss Shiloh Slaughter.
This is it, guys. A few minutes from now, Mr. Gussel will declare us officially graduates. From then on, when we walk back in those doors, we'll be considered visitors. But I remember when we walked in this school the first day of freshman year. I felt like a visitor then too, because I was always so lost. Turns out, school's a circle, no find me. My, how time has flown by. High school has felt rather like a race these past 4 years. This moment, graduation, seems to be the finish line we've all hoped for. Well, we're here. Now what? Grace seems like it's already beginning again, with some of us heading off to college for another 4 years, while others are going out to the work field. But let us, for today, stop for just a moment and remember these last 4 years. Let us remember the countless times we have been blown across the high school parking lot by the ferocious South Dakota winds. You guys know what I'm talking about. Or perhaps the PAC rallies where no one quite knows why we're there, but we're happy to miss some classes anyway. And let's not forget the numerous times we've listened to others screw up the morning announcements. These years we have shared have been filled with both good and bad times, both beautiful and tragic. But the point is that because we have shared these times, we are, in some way, a family. Certainly every family has a few crazy people in it, but we are a family nonetheless. The time has come, however, to let go of these family ties and reach out for something far greater than high school could ever offer. I myself have very little to offer you that you don't already know, but what I can offer you is advice that I am learning myself. Firstly, never forget where each and every one of you came from and why it is that you are here today. Secondly, always remember that self-worth is not a standard set by anyone else but yourself. Lastly, try to take some time and in the next leg of this race to live one moment at a time. Many of us here today are military brats who have been dragged around the world, while others are South Dakotans born and bred. Either way, each of us has a past as diverse as the idiosyncrasies that make us so unique. A crucial part of this past is our parents, who have built upon each of our lives to make us what we are today. That being said, we must be careful as we step forward, never to forget where we are from and why we are here. I would like to take this time to thank my own parents. First of all, thank you, Mom. Thank you for all the countless hours staying up with me while I had work to do. Paid off. Thank you for listening to me when I just needed to talk to someone. And thank you for all the sacrifices you've made on my behalf. Secondly, hi, Dad. I love you. Even though you are thousands of miles away in Iraq today, I want you to know that you're my hero and you're the best father a girl could ever ask for. Also, thank you to all the teachers who have forever changed my life. I have learned so much from all of you, both through textbooks and through observation. To my classmates, remember to thank your own parents and teachers. We have each been defined by the parents that built our character and the teachers who built our education. The future holds so many beautiful promises, but not without a foundation from the past. Our self-worth, however, is not a product of our past. Instead, a sense of accomplishment at the end of our lives can only be fulfilled if we choose to develop it. To do this, we must consider ourselves priceless. What I mean by that is that a Yale biochemist set out to determine how much a human being was actually worth. By calculating the price per gram of a human, he determined that each human is worth approximately $6 million. But we all know that a human is not just blood, bones, and flesh. We are much, much more than that. We are laughter, pain, love, and hate. We are happiness and sadness and smile and tears. A price cannot be put on such things. So let us consider ourselves priceless. Do not settle for a life of complacency, for each of us is worth too much to live like that. Live a life that brings you happiness and joy, a priceless life. Last but certainly not least, we must always remember that each moment we are given is a gift. So while we are beginning a new race in the future, we must learn to take a breath to live in each moment that we are in. I remember about 4 years ago, my family and I were driving home from town. It's often while driving that I have noticed the monotony of life because of the fact that I drive the same way home every day, take the same exits and the same turns. But on this day, my father purposely missed the Box Elder exit and continued to drive towards New Underwood. He stopped on a small gravel road and told us to look at the stars. Dad, you can see the stars from anywhere. He replied, but not like you can here. And I hate to admit it now, but he was right. Just a few miles away from here, the stars shine brighter than anywhere else in the world. Had my father not missed the exit and took us on that country road, I never would have experienced that moment. So to each of you, do not lose yourself in the mere monotony of living. Take a different exit every once in a while. Who knows? Maybe it will lead you to something great. Live every moment as if it's the last, and live each moment as if it's the only moment quite like it. I will miss you all so much in the coming years. I've discovered friendships in the past 4 years that have changed my life forever, and I'm sure many of you have too. A few days ago, we watched the senior slideshow and observed in just 45 minutes what took many, many years to experience. The pictures in that slideshow mark physical changes, but not metaphysical changes. We have changed as much on the inside as we have on the outside. As the race continues, we will continue to change. It's inevitable. But we must never forget who we are, how much we are worth, and how to live in every moment. I dare you to live a dream that's just beyond your reach. After all, at the end of your life, you are either the ladder that reached the dream, or the dream that never reached for the ladder. Dream big, live bigger, and love every moment that makes you who you have been and who you will become. I love you all, and know that God has a big plan for each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shala. Our final honor honored speaker is going to be much more of a challenge for me to put a medal on top of because of his height. But I'm going to give it a shot. This honored speaker has been referred to affectionately by staff, community, during routine and aimless conversation everywhere as the face or model or poster boy of Douglas High School. He is everything we would wish to represent us. His calm disposition, polite demeanor, and hardly matched determination have made him a decorated scholar and athlete. His blemishless 4.25 GPA is one reflection of that determination. Like our last speaker, Hayden was highly recruited, and within his $1.5 million worth of offers, he received an appointment invitation to the U.S. Naval Academy. I am certain making his parents, Sue and Dan Edwards, up here, very, very proud. Would you welcome our final valedictorian speaker, 2011 co-valedictorian, Mr. Hayden Edwards.
Students, family, friends, we're gathered here today to celebrate the accomplishments of the class of 2011 and to hopefully get our training started on the right foot. Well, at least we have the heat. In the past 12 years, our class has grown from coloring in nap time to hour-long lessons in nap time. Unfortunately, the latter was not required curriculum and it typically resulted in detention. This class is filled with musicians, debaters, knowledge bowlers, athletes, in short, an eclectic assortment of 130-some individuals who I've had the pleasure of sharing my schooling with. Let it be known that this class was Ironman volleyball champions for 2 years straight. Some other lesser stated qualities of this class are that we have swag for days, and our game is unsurpassable. I had attended several schools before coming to Douglas, but upon my arrival in 4th grade, destiny struck. My family and I fell in love with the district immediately and decided to return promptly after we moved away. But enough about the past. This ceremony is also about the future. With our diplomas in hand, this class is destined for greatness. Perhaps one of us will become a wealthy investor, and thanks, Mr. Pepper, or maybe create the next Facebook. However, if success is not immediately gained, I urge you all to remember the words of the wise Mr. Bieber, who said, "I will never say never. I will fight till forever." Graduating from Douglas High School certainly was no easy task, but the closeness and lighthearted humor shared by our class alleviated the sometimes monotonous routine that is high school. We all seem to follow the unspoken creed of another wise, well-groomed man, Mr. Efron, who claims, "We're all in this together." To my classmates, once again, congratulations. May the spirit of the Douglas High School class of 2011 shine bright like the skin of contemporary vampires once exposed to the sun. And may swift victory accompany our future endeavors. Good luck to you all, and thank you for being my classmate.
Very nicely done. How about those salutatorians, co-valedictorians, huh? Well, now we're going to change the pace just a little bit in the program to demonstrate yet another form of talent that oozes from this 2011 class and make yet another set of parents very proud. Will you help Mom and Dad, Lori and Douglas, win? Welcome to the stage their daughter, senior Miss Thalia Wynn. Thalia is going to sing for you whenever you remember.
When you look back on times we had, I hope you smile and know that through the good and through the bad, I was on your side when nobody could hold us down. We claimed the brightest star and we came so far and no, we won't forget. Whenever you remember times gone by, remember how we held our heads so high. When all this world was there for us, and we believed that we could touch the sky. Whenever you remember, I'll be there. Remember how we reached that dream together. Whenever you remember. When you look back on all we've done, I hope you're proud. When you look back and see how far we've come, it was our time to shine. When nobody could hold us down, they thought they'd see us fall, but we stood so tall, and no, we won't forget. Whenever you remember times gone by, remember how we held our heads so high. When all this world was there for us, and we believed that we could touch the sky. Whenever you remember, I'll be there. Remember how we reached that dream together. Whenever you remember. Yeah. We claimed the brightest star and we came so far and know that we showed them all and know we won't forget. Whenever you remember times gone by, remember how we held our heads so high. When all this world was there for us, and we believed that we could touch the sky. Whenever you remember, I'll be there. Remember how we reached that dream together. Whenever you remember. Whenever you remember. Whenever you remember.
You know, I think I've just decided that there's some diplomas I'm just not going to give to people today. I just don't want them to leave very bad. Well, as you heard me say earlier, when it comes to this class of 2011, Any of us that have worked with them deserve the title cat herder. Let's explore this for just a moment. The concept of herding cats. Picture it in your mind. You want 134 cats to go the same direction. So first, what do? You suggest the direction. Right. Half of the cats stare at you in such a way to make you feel paranoid or embarrassed about having even made the suggestion. The other half goes to sleep or decides instead to sit down and primp themselves. This is the senior class. A couple decide to humor you, but only because they decided to. So then, you decide, I'm going to require the suggestion. Game on. They scatter. You run around looking ridiculous. Their claws come out. They hiss at you, and not one of them, appears to have any rhyme or reason to the direction they're going. The class of 2011. They go their own direction because they decided to. Oh, some of them get there, certainly on their own, but I hardly feel like I can take credit for something like that. And oddly, ironically, exhausted though the cat herders are, here they all are. They showed up because they decided to. Now I have two cats, folks, at home. One bites me, the other hides from me. Raise your hand, seniors, if you're a cat that has bitten me before. Oh, raise them higher, come on, seriously. Scranton, where are you? Seriously, Scranton, how many times have you been in my office telling me how I'm doing my job wrong? There, oh, okay. There he is over there. I sincerely hope, Scranton, that someday you succeed me, and then I'm going to bring all my grandchildren here, and I'm going to show up in your office. Just saying. All right, seniors, how many of you are a cat that has ignored me or hid from me? Liars. Liars. Let me put it this way, then. How many of you have seen me coming down the hallway and quickly hid your cell phone? How about a bagel or a cheese donut? Any donut hiders out in the house? No? Scranton? See? All right, then how many of you have turned the other way and went the other way when you saw me coming down the hallway? Every single one of you raise your hand. Liars. Exactly. This is my wonderful class of 2011. You know, I think I've learned something about you. I think I've learned that I feel like a cat herder because I have before me, and I think you parents are responsible in part for this, I have before me a class full of deciders. And that one skill, I've got to tell you folks, wrapped inside of all of the math, and the science, and the music, and the personal finance, is the one thing that's probably going to make you phenomenally successful. You choose, and you decide. I wouldn't change that about you. Having come to the realization that you are going to make your own decision no matter what I say, I decided it was probably best just to simply offer as my final words to you advice on how to make the best decision. I did what you typically do when you have a project due the very next day. I Googled it. I added my own spice, and here's what I came up with. Throughout the next phase of life, class of 2011, as you make your decisions, number one, know what you're doing. Many a bad decision is made based on an error in knowledge because we literally do not know what we're doing. Beware of two forms of knowledge. Insufficient knowledge
when you don't know enough, and wrong knowledge,
when you are misled,
or have misunderstood. Seek the truth. Be open to the possibility, and this is going to be tough for you, that you may not be right all the time. Know what you're doing. Number 2, having said that, think about your pending decision for as long as you need to. We make a lot of bad decisions by rushing headlong into them. Sleep on it. Ponder, wonder, ask the question, what in the world am I going to do? How many of you had a great Douglas science teacher named O.J.? Here's what O.J. says. There's 30-day corn and 60-day corn. Right? You heard this one? All right. He says, you know what? Some of you are 60-day corn. You just take a little longer. O.J., right? Number 3, regardless of how long you take to make a decision, you can all start at the same place. Here's my suggestion. Think from the future and think about the future. Here I'm encouraging you to be a time traveler. Use some of those Cat 9 Lives things y'all got going on. Listen to this. Let your decisions flow from the desired result, rather than allowing the results to be the slave of your decisions. You get that? Okay, because my wife told me to repeat that. All right, here it is. Let your decisions flow from the desired result, rather than allowing the results to be the slave of your decisions. You're the cat. You decide when and how. Number 4. Yes, you decide when and how, but please think about others. There is absolutely little glory or satisfaction in a decision that leaves you alone. Consider the effect and prioritize people over things in position. Number 5. There will be a lot of voices from these people along the way, so please, we hope we've been these people. Seek good counsel. Trite, I will agree, but listen. 2 heads are... Castle goes on the... Because right is... It can be taught. Also, please remember the quality of the counsel is directly related, even proportional to the quality of the counselor. So you must choose a counselor carefully. You have a room full of them here to look out for you. Use us. Mrs. Traxinger would have said it like this. To every action, there is always an equal and opposite reaction. Seniors up here were mouthing that, by the way, if you couldn't see that. Newton's laws of motion. Make sure the person with whom you make or contemplate your decision represents a result you can be proud of. Always carry Mrs. Traxinger with you, okay? 6. Although wise counsel is smart and desirable, remember this, to thine own self be true. When the outside advice of the small voice in your head begs a decision that contradicts your morality, your compass, your good sense, what's right and wrong, stick your guns. Your unique contribution is too important to lose along the way, because you handed your decision to somebody else. And finally, before I make a decision to give you something across the stage here, are you ready to graduate, by the way? Finally then, reflect. The certainty of a bad decision is going to find you, but that's great. The question is, what are you going to do with that bad decision? Mr. Golson continuously says, we study history so we do not repeat our mistakes. Not bad counsel from a wrestling coach. He's not saying don't make mistakes. Certainly folks make mistakes. George Bernard Shaw, 19th century author, said a life spent making mistakes is not only more honorable, but more useful than a life spent doing nothing. But do your best to decide well, so that your mistake is well spent. Don't practice a bad gulp. Reflect. Ask what happened, why, and what next. So for the past 4 years, we've chased you around like cat herders, telling you to get to class, put your phone away, leave food in the cafeteria, do your homework, earn your credits, stay out of the closed hallway script. And ultimately, you scattered, making your own decision. Folks, we couldn't be more proud of you. Keep up the good work wherever you go and whatever you do. And at some point, please, decide to return to our halls. See how we're doing. And so we've decided to reward you. Have you decided you'd like to graduate? You decided you'd like to graduate. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to chase them across the stage. Are you ready up in the stands? All right. I can give you just a little bit of information, folks. On this side over here, we have some change there. If you are a person that likes to take a picture as closely as possible, you can sneak down the side and stand behind the chains here and take a picture of your graduate as they come across. Try to keep the middle of the hall of the aisle open and the sides over here. If you could, you'll get a better picture on this side. Are you sure you're ready? All right. Class of 2011, would you please rise? Superintendent Scheer, Board President Schwartz, I certify to you that these before us, the members of the distinguished class of 2011, have all decided to meet all necessary graduation requirements set forth by our great state of South Dakota and the Douglas District School Board. I further endorse that they are ready to make their own decisions out in the real world. Will the first row of graduates please approach the stage? The rest of you may be seated. Graduates, would like your name? Please receive the congratulations you deserve. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2011, Scott William Allen Jr. Dawson Bradley Baker. Samantha Lee Fargo. Michael Allen Barman. Leona Jade Blair. Catherine Elizabeth Luthart. Nicole Denise Bockwald. John Allen Brethauer. Jessica Rayanne Brooks. Kendra Jean Brooks. Amanda Marie Buck. Kayla Cherie Bunch. Amanda Brooke Thurfing. Daniel Aaron Bush. Travis Michael Clark. Chrissy Patrick Coates. Alyssa Catherine Cole. James Henry Cole III. Gary Jacob Colmer. Dylan Brom Connors. Nico James Cortez. Samantha Lee Crawford. Rebecca Christine Cruz. Gabriela Nicole Cuevas. Brooke Marie Davis. Ori Dean Deskin. Paul Donald Dustman. Hayden Ross Edwards. Vanessa Ray Alis. Bailey Dawn Ike. Alejandra Ezelens Morales. Ryan Joe Farmer. Nicholas Anthony Finney. Wade Patrick Franz. And Andrew David Franz. Misty Dawn Folgero. Brandon Michael Gauthier. Douglas Raymond Bergen Gilchrist. Emily Michelle Glasson. Alexander Scott Gould. Chance Wayne Graham. Kyle Allen Hetzel. Jacqueline Lou Hanson. Spencer Leonard Hanson. Travis John Harris. Kelsey G. Huff. Samantha Ray Higley. Mackenzie Taylor Healy. Andre Nicholas Kern. Daniel Scott Holstein. Brandon Robert Honey. Nathaniel Sean Hooper. Tony Marie Howell. Cody Marie Hubner. James J. Inskip. Austin John Johnson. Caleb Christian Johnson. Elizabeth Claire Johnson. Michael Anthony Kasulis. Cassandra Rose Keller. Brooke Ashlyn Codis. Madison Grace Samantha Jo Grant. Christina Isabella Krupa. Michaela Rose Cole. William James Loveday. Sean Patrick Lynch. Darren Michael Mang. Ryan Michael Maxson. Kelly Erin McNabb. Marshall Joseph McKaylee. Rebecca Sue Mendenhall. Brittany May Muse. Nicole Kimberly Michelson. Justin Ray Miller. Michelle Christine Miller. Sarah Elizabeth Arlie Milliken. Patrick William Mose. Michaela Jane Moran. Haley Veda Morford. Shauna Marie Parker. Aaron Michael Piercy. Samantha Faye Herringer. Stephen Andrew Peters. Jolene Romaine Petronic. Jordan Michelle Platt. Rachel Brianne Prophet. Mariah Shantay Twin. Tiffany Marie Randolph. Zachary Ryan Rainey. Joshua Tenney Rio. Justin Todd Ryle. Tyler Randall Roberts. Rebecca Rose Robinson. Kelly Ann Rout. Shaylin Margina Rue. Sarah Rebecca Ashley Sadowski. Christopher Robert Sanchez. Charlotte Lee Schmidt. Stephen Day Schwinger. Nix Anna Scott Thompson. Kyle Slater Scranton. Hallie Stephanie Simmons. Nicholas Samuel Syke. Shyla Gail Slot. Elena Marie Spice. Nikki Lane Steele. Dallas Aiden Zito Steen. Caitlin Renee Stewart. Dylan Thomas Stewart. Alexandria Larissa Sir. Jordan Todd Tanner. Jessica Nicole Lee Teasley. Cody Daniel Harley Louise Tisdale. Paul Miles Tukro. Brooklyn Marie Walker. Alexandria Diane Boyd. Chewy Jesse Ray Watson.
As soon as you get it, to pull this back around and start walking this way, they'll
Elena Renee Wells.
this way. So it's as far as possible to do that.
Sierra Elizabeth Wente. Marie Ray Woodard. And certainly not least, Thalia Courtney Wynn. Congratulations to the entire class of 2011. President Schwartz, Board Superintendent Shear, family, friends, school board members, class of 2011. Give it up one more time for our graduates, shall we? I have just a few more individuals we would like to thank. Thank you, Ms. Kelly and the DHS Band and Choir. Thank you, Upland. Lieutenant Colonel Mark Miller and Chief Master Sergeant Russell Johnson, as well as the Air Force ROTC crew. Thank you very much. Thank you, Assistant Principal Mr. Dwayne Wins, Activities Director Ms. Naomi Hatfield, and Consummate Organizer Ms. Jody Tadlock. Thank you very much. Certainly to our custodial and maintenance crews for preparing this graduation. Thanks to them. And of course, our DHS staff, school board, superintendent Shear for your consistent support and demand for excellence. Thank you. And mom and dad for getting them through. Congratulations and thank you. Class of 2011, will you please rise? As a symbol of your status as graduates and permanent part of Douglas history, you may now move your tassels from the right side of your mortarboard to the left. Congratulations. All hands are doing now. Please stand to receive the benediction.
Nope, Stacy. God forgive, but we gotta start right by you. Is there a bath?
Thank you for this awesome evaluation ceremony. there next to you. Audience, this might be a good time to have your cameras ready. I'm just saying. Graduates, are you ready to be Douglas alumni? Are you ready to show the world what you got? Can I declare you officially graduated? Shake it, babe!